Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I am in Zone 7A in the state of Tennessee, and today I'm in my tunnel, and first of all, it feels amazing. It's in the evening time, so I probably have 30 minutes of daylight, but I thought I'd turn the camera on and show you a little bit about what the tunnel is looking like. So we'll call this maybe in October our first fall garden tour, and then show you my seedlings, talk about some of the plans and things like that. But it feels great. The temperatures have dipped here over the last couple of days. The high has been like 65 and the low has been like 40 to 45, somewhere along in there. So the last 2 nights have been quite chilly, relatively speaking, depending, based on how it was before. So it feels good. Certainly not complaining. This is my kind of weather. But because the temperatures have dropped into the 40s and stuff, definitely the stuff in the outside garden is probably, it's on its way out. We can go take a peek out there and see if there's anything we can need to harvest. But I thought I would take you around the inside of the tunnel since you haven't really seen the first iteration of the fall garden in the tunnel. It's the second week of October, so we don't have everything out, but some of the stuff that we put out like 30 days ago, like you can tell, we'll be ready to harvest it definitely within the next couple of weeks or so. So let me take you around. First, let's start the seed table. I'll show you what seeds I have going. We have another round of seeds to start, and then I'll tell you all about that as well. Okay, so this is our seed table so far. So you can see the ones in the front, the blue, those are all the latest rounds of seeds that I started last week. And so in this, I have kale, collard greens, and lettuce. So far, we have pretty good germination, everything except 3 out of 32. So that's pretty good. And I reseeded the 3 that didn't germinate. I reseeded those this morning. So that's all good. And then this tray here, let's see. This, you can see, is a little bit further ahead. This is probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to let it go another week and then we're going to plant it. But it's a mixture of cabbage, broccoli rabe, and cauliflower. And yeah, cauliflower. So that's what this is. Like I said, you can tell it has roots. It could literally go out. It's pretty much ready. But I'm actually going to give it another week. And then this table behind it is around the same time frame, and that's more cabbage and more broccoli. This tray here is half full. We've put out half of it already. The rest is spinach and collards. So we have quite a plethora on the table. So that's 3.5 trays. I'm going to do a whole nother tray that's going to go right there. And then I'm going to fill up the rest of those. And I really think that's going to be done, at least for now. From a personal standpoint, October is jam-packed. Like, we have something on the calendar every single weekend. I'm not going to say every single day, but it's jam-packed. Like, there is not a moment to breathe. Like, there's tons of stuff going on. And so my time is really, really, really limited. And we'll be going out of the country next month. And so I have a long list of stuff to do before we go out of the country, trying to get the tunnel in a certain place where everything is planted. And then I have something exciting that's happening next week on the farm. I will do a video on it and show you. I'm really excited. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a surprise. But we have a little something going on that will be happening next week. And we're going to try to move the needle like a whole lot in preparation of us going out of town. So let me take you around the rest and just let you see what's going on out here. This first bed is lettuce mostly and cilantro. You can see in the back where I've direct sowed some right there. You can kind of see that. But then you see the rest are things that I transplanted out. Cilantro is right there in the corner. This whole bed will be eventually full of lettuce. I just need to fill it in with some of the other lettuce that I have coming in, and it'll be completely full. We've already been harvesting. It tastes yummy. So this whole bed will be lettuce, but this is we're probably 50% of the way there. in grow bag right there, number one, those are some scallions that I'm doing. They're laying down because I just watered a little while ago. And then in this thing, this is where I had the pepper plant. I'm using that and I'm actually growing beets. So remember, beets was not on my list to grow because one, I don't like beets. And I haven't been successful at growing beets, not for real, for real. But I thought this was a free way for me to try it because it's not taking up bed space. And I had this pot anyway. That's where I had the peppers at. And I tried to overwinter this big pot last year. It did not go well. So I just cut it down, got rid of it. And I'm like, I'm not even bringing that into my house. So I was like, oh, you know what? We'll throw some beet seeds in here and let's see what happens. And they, 50% of them germinated. So we'll see. And again, if they do nothing, it's no harm, no foul. If they do something, then I'll get a chance to taste beets roasted, because everybody says the roasted is better than just eating them. And these are golden beets, which I have tasted those and I can tolerate those like on a salad or something like that. So that's like free planting because I'm not taking up bed space for something that I don't know that I'm going to like. So, and then the scallions, that's an experiment. And so I used a grow bag. I already had soil in it from a tomato. I mended that grow bag and threw the scallion seeds in there and they're growing. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is the bed that still has some summer stuff in it. All those plants in there are peppers, and then we have a eucalyptus, in the back. It's still producing peppers quite a bit. You can see here that's some sweet bonnet peppers that it's producing, and then here is jalapeno. We have gotten quite a few off of these plants for sure. You can see that it's loaded with jalapenos, and then you see the eucalyptus in the back. You can see this first part of the bed that's empty. That was the mango, the ahi mango plant. I had two of them there that were just so big and so just all over the place. I took those out because I didn't need any more of those peppers. And since I've taken it out, the other peppers have done well because they have more space. And I've amended that part there. I was debating on putting some carrot seeds there or some scallions. I haven't done it yet, but you can see that part, you can tell that it's kind of amended. But I think I'm going to give these peppers another week, and then we're going to take them out. And this is their last week. Like for real. Their last week, I'm going to take them out and then plant fall stuff in it. I think this bed is going to be either another carrot bed, or it's going to be the cauliflower and things like that. We'll see. So one of the reasons I've kept the peppers in there is, one, because I needed the jalapeno peppers to make more jalapeno salt. So if you have not tried our jalapeno salt, go on our website and grab you some. The website is down here below, livingfoodsfarm.com. It is amazing. We make it from the peppers in our garden. You can put it on everything. We started selling it this summer. Every time I put it up there, it sells out 100%. I think I have 2 bottles left, but we have more in the hopper to be made. We just got to put them in bottles. So I will try to remember to go in tonight and up the quantity. And so if you want some, you have to buy at least 2 for shipping purposes. But let me tell you, it is amazing. So I wanted some more jalapenos for the jalapeno salt. And I didn't have anything ready to put in its place. As you know, I have started seeds a few times already this fall. I have lost some stuff because of some crazy animal that keeps eating my stuff. So I've had to reseed again. And so it has put me, when I say behind where I want it to be. So I don't have anything ready to go in this bed unless I go buy a transplant. And so because I didn't have anything ready, unless I was going to do the whole bed with carrots, I've just let the peppers hang out. And again, so far so good. I think tonight is the only other night it's going to be like in the 40s, and I think it goes back to the 50s. So again, I'll let them hang out. They got 7 more days, and then they're going to get out of here, and then we're going to plant fall stuff in it. And I just got to figure out, I think on the crop plant I had 2 beds of carrots. I'm still debating on if I want to do that. And then I added cauliflower back in, y'all. But you know what? I'm the gardener. I can add to my crop plant if I want to. Am doing it. Okay, let's go to the next bed. So this bed here are my carrots. And so for those that did not see the original video, I tried something new with my carrots that I will tell you about as well. But then you can also see here, let me see if I can point to it. This row here are radishes. I did something called interplanting. And I'm going to tell you about that. And again, I watered, and so that's why they're not standing up. But all of that's carrots. Another thing I did that I don't know if you can see it on here is along the edge here, I just reseeded. Not reseeded, I just direct sowed some carrots here because I'm trying to take up every available space. But right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of carrots. Right here's the radishes, and then the back is just some parsley. Let's talk about the carrots. So I did a video on me doing carrots, and I think in the video I said I want Bugs Bunny carrots. Like, y'all, I want a carrot harvest. I want a harvest. I'm naming it and claiming it. I have not been successful at growing a huge quantity of carrots. Carrots can be pretty tricky. These have germinated extremely well. And one thing I've learned, this is my 3rd year doing it. One thing I've learned is that if you're direct sowing carrot seeds, which most of the time you are, you're not going to usually buy a carrot transplant. You're going to direct sow it, is that they have to stay moist. So even if you have a drip system, you have to overhead irrigate and keep the carrots moist, the seed moist until it germinates. For me, it's taken about 7 days to germinate. After 7 days, I'm usually seeing something and I'm good to go. Again, I've learned that over the last 2 years. This is the best germination rate I've had so far in terms of first time in 7 days I got germination. It's all good. The other thing that I did is that I'm using pelleted seed versus a non-pelleted seed. So a pelleted seed has an inorganic coating on it that makes it an individual seed. Let me grab it so that you can see it. The seed I'm using is called Bolero. So you can see my hands are dirty because I've been in dirt. That's what a gardener does. So I was in dirt before I turned on this video. So you probably think, well, Barbara, you ain't put your hands in dirt on this video. Well, girl, I was in dirt before the video started. That's why my hands dirty. But let's focus. So you can see what it looks like, right? Versus a traditional carrot seed. It's brown, it's real thin, and you would normally broadcast, meaning you're just kind of throwing it in a line. With the pelleted seed, you can like plant it individually because it has that coating on it. It's still organic, doesn't mess with your food. If you want to read up on it, read up on it. I got these from Johnny's. But it allows you to sow individual seeds, and the goal is that you don't have to thin your carrots out. When you broadcast sow, you have to thin your carrots out, meaning go in, you know, ever so often and pull them up and thin them out so that you can grow big roots and big carrots. Well, I'm experimenting with this pelleted seed. So far, I like the way it's come up. So as you can see, and I'll try to turn it back around, you don't have like just all the carrots right there together. Now, the first 4 rows, I did the pelleted. The last row, I did broadcast with the pelleted. Why? Just because I didn't have a lot of time. So I just dug a trench and I just threw them in there. They're still pelleted. And so I noticed that even though I broadcast, because they're pelleted, I still don't have as many that I'll have to go back and thin because they're not like 500 seeds in one row, right? There may be 50 seeds in one row. So the other thing I did is I did something called interplanting. I've never done it before, but I thought I would try it out. And again, I'm being intentional about what I'm interplanting and where. So I interplanted radishes. That means that in between my carrot row and 2 of my rows, I did a row of radishes. Now, the radish variety that I did has a 25-day maturity. That means, I think this is the 3rd week. At the end of this week, technically it's supposed to be done. I'm not seeing it, but maybe it will be. I've never done radishes before. I don't like radishes. But I'm doing it because I've heard again, radishes, if you roast them, they taste better. And it has been years since I had a radish. And the thing I don't like about the radish is just the bite, right? That spicy. That's why I don't like arugula, ginger, all that. It's the bite that gets me, not necessarily the radish itself. If it didn't have the bite, I could eat it. But the reason why I'm growing it is, 1, because I wanted to try this interplanting. 2, I thought I want to see if my customers would buy it. And then 3, I'm gonna roast some, put in a salad, and just see if my taste buds have adjusted and see if they like it. But remember, because I don't know if I like it, it's not a huge fan favorite in my house, I'm not gonna do a whole bed of radishes, right? I'm doing a row and I'm interplanting in between my carrots. And the key to interplanting is my radishes will be done way before my carrots. So in terms of space, I don't have to worry about them competing for space because the radishes will be done way before the carrots will ever be done. So when you're interplanting, a lot of people will do like lettuce under tomatoes. The tomatoes will provide a shade or a cover of the lettuce, and then the lettuce you can pick on the cut and come again before your tomatoes ever get to fruition, right? So when you're interplanting, you want to pick a crop that can go in between, and you want to think about the maturity dates of each one. Also, again, for me, I am being in the garden, you have to be intentional if you want to be efficient. I like that. That just came to me. Like, that was fresh off the press. You do. I'm thinking about it as I'm saying it. You have to be intentional if you want to be efficient, especially if you're working with limited space. I am fortunate that I'm not short on space. I have plenty of space to grow, even though sometimes I'm like, oh, if I could just get one more row. But ideally, I'm not short on space. But even then, I'm very intentional because I live my life intentionally. I do everything, with intention. Is my goal, is my prayer. But in the garden, I wouldn't plant a whole bed of radishes to take up space for something that I don't know that I like, right? So with the beets, I'm using a pot that I wasn't going to use anyway. I'm using a grow bag or something like that. So think about what you're doing before you do it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. Y'all, look at this. This is my kale bed. Isn't she lovely? I have 3 different kinds of kale in here. I have Winterbore, I have Calibration, and I have Blue Scotch Curly Kale, I think. So you can see all the different varieties and stuff like that. Overall, it has been doing well. Like, literally, y'all, I could harvest this today and have me a kale salad if I wanted to, because it is ready. It's been in the ground for about 30 days or so. And baby kale, a lot of varieties you can harvest in 25 to 40 days. But if I wanted to, there is plenty on these leaves for me to harvest. Plenty. Let me give you a close-up. Do y'all see that? Plenty, plenty, plenty. So the kale bed is doing fantastic. Now let's go to the other side. So this is the bed that has bok choy in it, spinach, and broccoli. And the broccoli is almost ready to be harvested. Again, this has been in the ground probably 30 days or so. And you can see I have the insect netting on it. But look at that. You can see how it's filling out and how things are looking. Overall, pretty good. Let me show you the next bed, and then we'll talk about the insect netting and what we're doing here and how I feel about it. So this bed here has a mix, and this is like my mystery bed. This is I had some seeds that I did in a 72 cell tray. When I lifted the tray up, all of my tags came out the bottom. So I don't know what's in here. I know that it's probably a mixture of kale, broccoli, cabbage, maybe some collards are in there. I don't know. I'll know as it keeps growing. So it's the mystery bed, but so far so good. You can see, hopefully you can see through the insect netting. I don't want to take the insect netting off to put it right back on again. So you'll have to take my word and trust me that for the most part it's doing good. I still have some insect damage. Like you can see that right there. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so let's talk about the insect netting. So you see that I have insect netting, and I've shown this on a previous video. If you didn't see, you can kind of go back where I put these stainless steel wire hoops in, and the insect netting. Here are my thoughts so far. So far, to me, it's working really well. I still have, I would say in the first bed that I showed you the insect netting, there are like 1 or 2 plants that still have some insect damage. And in the other bed, there's probably 2 or 3. So out of there's probably 20 plants in each bed, 2 or 3 have some insect damage. Now, either that the bug was already on there or somehow it's gotten in. So for me, it has not been foolproof, but it has been much, much better than had I not had this insect netting on here. If I didn't have it on here, I'm pretty sure every plant would be pretty much, you know, a lot of insect damage. So it's definitely helping for sure. I love the wire hoops. I tried the whole getting some tinsel wire from Amazon, Home Depot. That hasn't worked. If you have seen it work and you got one, send me the link of what you have, right? But what I went and got, it didn't work. So I went back and bought some more of these stainless steel wireless hoops. I like them. It's easy and I can do it. I don't have to wait on my husband to do it, wait on him and all that. Now, so will I do this again? Absolutely. Every single season, 100%. Definitely love the insect netting. Let me show you the in-ground stuff real quick. Now, in this first row, you see I have insect netting, and in this row so far are cabbages and 2 broccoli. I think there's like 10 or 12 cabbages and 2 broccolis, and so far they're doing well. I just put them in the ground, let's just say last week. The only thing with the insect netting is trying to find the absolute right size and length that you need. You can see I have a lot of overage. It's not the neatest thing because I did it myself. I'm sure my husband can help me make it a little bit more tidy, but at this point I'm just trying to protect the plants, and it's not ideal, but it is working for what I need to work. So you can see the plants under there, and so far these don't have any damage at all. They've been in here a whole week, so you can see hopefully how well those plants are doing. This is a row still of peppers, roasting peppers and bell peppers, habaneros and jalapenos all the way down. It is still producing quite well. I'm still getting ripening, and so I don't have anything ready to go in this place, so I've just let them hang out. So I will let them hang out another week or so, and then we'll pull them if they don't self-select to, you know, die on their own, which I don't think they will because they're in the tunnel. So they may not produce any more, but what's on there is not going to die. So here is where the collard greens were. I planted some more collard greens that I started and transplanted. You can see them there. So they're on the smaller side, but they haven't been eaten since they've been covered. And then the ones that the little animal ate have come back. Some of them. Now, these are the ones that the animal didn't get. So you can see that those are much bigger. Much bigger. But some of the ones that the animal ate have actually come back, which is there. So again, y'all know I like for things to look neat. It's not neat. So this is the no judgment zone. But it's on there and it's protecting the plants until my husband can get out here. I wish they had like a cover that was the exact length of my rows. That was almost like a stretchy fabric that like fit over it real tight, nice and neat. That's what I wish I could find. I hadn't found it yet. There are the tomatoes. You can see I have green tomatoes. This is the 3rd succession of tomatoes that I did. So you can see I have clusters of tomatoes that look near perfect. They are perfect. I don't know if they're going to ever turn red based on the temperature and what it's doing. But I have tomatoes all the way down. This is a determinate variety that has clusters on it. I have some cherry tomatoes. They're all green. They all look good, but they're not red. We can always use it as green, and I'm not overly concerned because, again, I have more tomatoes. I have been blessed beyond measure with tomatoes. This was a 3rd succession one to see how close I could push the limit to my first frost date. Our estimated first frost date is still a week and a half away. We'll see if it actually happens on that date or before that. So I'm not overly concerned. I don't need these tomatoes. I don't have anything to put in its place right now. So I've just been letting them hang out. We'll let them hang out. They may be on the 7-day list too. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to ripen. If not, I can pick them and use them and make some chow chow. I heard you guys told me, so I may try that. Let me show you the kale row that was. This is the kale row that was. You can see how the little animal just ate all my little stuff. Some of it's coming back already. But you can see how it just, yeah, they got them good. But we already have kale restarted to replant. So y'all, that is what's going on in the tunnel. So it's the 1st or 2nd week of October. I feel good. It's not where I wanted to be, but I cannot complain at all. I still have plenty of time to grow whatever it is I want. I can always go buy some transplants, and I may end up doing that if my stuff doesn't grow as fast as I need it to. Definitely before I leave to go out of the country, I want all of my stuff in the ground so that it can do its thing while I'm gone and not have to come back and like, oh, I didn't get finished, replant. So if that means I got to go buy transplants, that's exactly what I will go and do. But you can see that I already have seeds started, and I already have at least 2 trays worth that can technically go out now. I'm just giving them another week or so. And then I'm going to start some more seeds. So I still have 3 weeks before it's time to go and to get where I want to be before we leave. So, yeah, I feel good about it. So that's our first garden tour for the fall. And then I will do another one next month, but I'll wait till probably once we get back in town and all that. And by that time, we should have food getting ready to go on the plate. We should have food. But you can see that my kale, like I could harvest that now if I wanted to and needed a kale salad. Lettuce, I have lettuce to harvest, and the bok choy, like that bok choy will probably be ready in about a week. And I could, saute it right on up. So there is, again, most of these things I started at August and put in the ground in September. So you can see how literally some of the fall stuff, like the bok choy, it's a baby bok choy, so it's pretty quick. Kale is pretty quick. Spinach, I even have spinach now that I could harvest, if you didn't see that, to put in a smoothie or something like that. So you can see that already, just from doing a little bit of something in August, starting the seed, getting in the ground in September, we already have food that if we wanted to, we could go ahead and harvest. So we are on our way. We are on our way is all I can say. And so this is the first, I guess, full month. And again, you see, I still have some summer stuff in here. So, but on the next video, the summer stuff will be gone. And I'm going to make a decision on the peppers. But again, it's one of those things, because I have the space and I don't have anything to go in this space because my seedlings haven't been ready. Why take them down? Just let them hang out and keep reaping the benefits. I got a whole, I shelled purple whole peas last night. I got 2 quart-sized bags of purple whole peas. I think that was the last one. So I have plenty in my freezer. I have a whole basket of jalapenos on my counter, and I have a whole basket of red bell peppers, roasting peppers, habanero peppers, and all the other kind of peppers on my counter right now as we speak, that I'm about to go in the house and try to process and do. So I'm living in both worlds. I'm enjoying the fall, and if I wanted to, I could harvest the fall, just don't need it. But I also still have some summer harvest on my counter. So thank you guys for joining me today on this quick fall tour. As you can see, the sun is sitting behind me, so I won't be able to start the seeds with you, but you guys have seen me start seeds many a times. And I'll tell you, it's a little chilly. It's a little chilly. So I don't think I'm gonna start no seeds myself. I mean, I think this is my signal to go in the house. What you think? But anyway, if you like what you're seeing on my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. We have had a lot of new subscribers in the last week or so. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I do not take it for granted that you spend time out of your day to spend time with me. I don't take it for granted at all. I appreciate each and every one of you, every like, every comment. And so if you like it, please subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with a neighbor. And remember that gardening is a journey. It's not a destination. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.